So after having a detailed introduction, today we start with the text and we begin like this as usual. We have all the most important expressions, words, etc., phrases. First we will go through them and see whether we can master them for our day-to-day life or not. So here begins. Last heir. H is silent, last heir. Last heir means last successor. The last man in the family. Understand? For example, Sri Chitradirna was the last heir of Travancore royal family. The last heir. And that last heir means the last ruling. Afterwards, kings don't rule us. No. In that sense, the last heir. Late rest means to lay somebody to rest means to bury. So yesterday we laid to rest. We laid our friend, most intimate friend to rest. He died, so we buried him. And then laden with gold, means loaded with gold. You see, that is gold coins, golden crown, then golden belts, golden bangles and all those things along with the dead body. There is a custom in Egypt that also we have seen already. The mummies were buried like that, and most probably the rock cut tombs, T-O-M-B, B is silent, tomb. And then the coffin, there will be 1, 2, 3 or 4 coffins. No? That is one inner one, then outer one, then another outer one, then another outer one. Any number you can have. And these coffins would be filled with things that the king would require for life after death. That's what they believed. So the Egyptians believed in life after death. If the king was interested in football, they will put a football also in there. If the king was interested in chess game, then they will put chess board and chess men and so on inside the coffin. So that is the belief. So laden with gold. Eventually means at the end. At the end of something, eventually everyone will die. That is, eventually everyone will die. You have to die. There's next speculation about, means thinking about, making theories about, speculation. So before Copernicus and Galileo found out that the sun was the center of universe, that is solar system, there are many people speculating, many speculations, many theories about whether it is earth-centered universe or whether it is sun-centered universe. So it's speculation. I mean, making theories about speculation. Now you speculate about your future, no? Just speculate about your future. Right? Extreme possibility, the last possibility. The last possibility. When you are investigating a crime, sometimes you will the extreme possibility is that he might have been taken bodily to heaven. Because a trace of his body is not found on this earth. So people will say the extreme possibility is that he must have been taken bodily to heaven. That is extreme, the last possibility. Offer new clues. Clues means evidence. Clue. Offer means give. Give new clues. In the investigation time, many people will offer new clues to find out the crime. See, to trace the criminals. New clues. Offer new clues, new evidence. Process precise data, means the correct information. The correct body of information is called data. So that is the correct information, precise data. Without getting precise data, you cannot proceed with your space journey. You have to get data. Otherwise, what will happen? You don't know what is going to happen. Precise data. Then forensic reconstruction means reconstructing a story or an event after conducting postmortem of the dead body. Postmortem of the dead body. See, for example, somebody dies of poison, and then to forensic reconstruction of that request, you have to do postmortem and then you have to see the different inner organs, how the inner organs have been affected and so on. So this is the forensic study. Means study of a person or investigation of a person's body after death is forensic reconstruction. So you are right. In this case, they wanted to know the cause of the death of King Tut, the boyish king. And for that they were doing a forensic reconstruction, that is by taking CT means a computer assisted tomography. That is means X-rays, many X-rays from different angles. That is CT scan, scanning the body. So forensic reconstruction is very often crime branch, the policemen in the crime branch, officials in the crime branch, they conduct forensic reconstruction of crimes. How it happened, what is the cause, and some forensic reconstruction. Sometimes you can use this word in this word also. So when I passed my post-graduation, I made a forensic reconstruction of my life. That means you look back, what you are doing, how you managed to become like this, and forensic reconstruction. Anything you are going back to the past of a person and then trying to reconstruct your life or get a picture of what had been going on, that is called forensic reconstruction. Understand? You can also make a forensic reconstruction of your life, say up to +2. Say you remember LKG, UKG and so on. That way that is forensic reconstruction. Everybody can do that. Then a flashback you can say, a flashback. Stirred means moved. Don't stir. It means don't move. That's stirring me. Then ghostly dust devils. Ghostly dust devil, dust wind. Now the word used there, ghostly, means fearful. Ghosts are not friendly. When you see a ghost, you don't say, oh, hello ghost, how are you? You will not say, but you are afraid of that, isn't it? So ghostly dust means wind. Wind that carries a lot of dust, and sand also, devils. He calls the wind devils because it was doing harm. Anybody who does harm, we say, you are, what a devil you are, don't disturb me. That's right. And then dark-bellied clouds. Dark-bellied clouds means the clouds don't have belly, but it looks like a belly, isn't it? And then bellied clouds means when you look at the clouds, they look very dark. Dark clouds, that's all. Dark-bellied clouds. That's an expression, a beautiful expression. Dark-bellied clouds. So during monsoon you can see dark-bellied clouds in the sky. Okay. During monsoon you can say, you should even use it in sentences. Scudded across. Scudded means move fast forward in a line. You can see now during monsoon you can see clouds scudding like this, one after another, scudding. The clouds are scudding in the sky. You can see. The sky is overcast with the clouds, and some clouds are scudding. Means moving very fast in a line. That is scudding means. Scudded. Veiling the stars in casket grey. Veiling means covering. This is covering the stars. Casket grey, dark. Dark sky with the twinkling stars here and there. That is casket grey means. The sky is dark, but you can see stars twinkling here and there. So that you call casket grey. This. So I can say dark-bellied clouds or is scattered across veiling stars in casket grey. Veiling means covering. Veil. You put a veil on your head. You can see sisters, nuns, they're putting the veil on their head. That is covering, isn't it? In this sense, the dark-bellied clouds, but through that you can see the one or two stars shining here and there. That is. So while veiling stars in casket grey. So you can say when the sky is full of clouds, as we say overcast with the clouds, you can see the clouds veiling the stars in casket grey. Glided head first. Gliding is make a smooth movement. The dead body or the mummy, this is another way. Embalmed dead body is mummy. So the mummy is taken and then just gliding into the CT scanner. This CT scanner for taking a scan report, getting a scan report. To probe means to investigate. So the police are probing the crime or investigating the crime. You can probe your conscience. No? So you see whether you have done anything wrong. At the end of every day, you can say, you can probe in your conscience. See, so that is something good, because next day you want to repeat the same thing. The lingering medical mysteries. So there is, lingering means remaining. The remaining medical mysteries. Medical mysteries means what are the medical reasons for mysterious death. It was a mysterious death. The death of King Tut, the boyish king. See, how is he called? It's a boyish king, he is boyish Pharaoh. Pharaoh, that is the pronunciation. Pharaoh. The kings in Egypt, they were called pharaohs. Pharaoh. Pharaoh. This is how it is pronounced. Pharaoh. This is you. Oh. Pharaoh. Pharaoh. Not a pharaoh. See, it's Pharaoh. Pharaoh. So pharaohs, they were called kings. Boyish king, boyish pharaoh, young ruler, a teenager, the last heir of son. So these are phrases used for referring to the boyish king. That is, his full name is Tutankhaten. Tutankhaten. So short we say Tut. You say Thomas. Short you say Tom. Mathew you say Matt. Yeah, like that. So Tutankhaten. So that is King Tut. King Tut. So this is sorry. So these are. Now you can see there are two very important dates in this. One is 5th January 2005. The other is, we have got the next one, discovered in 1922. See, the mummy was discovered, the tomb was not mummy, but the tomb was discovered in the year 1922, and the investigation started on this fateful day, that is 5th January 2005. Understand? The investigation at 2005. Very important, two very important days when we are considering the medical mysteries, the lingering medical mysteries of King Tut's death, the boyish king Tut's death, the boyish king Tutankhaten's death, how it happened and so on. Teenager, he was a teenager, means of your age. Must be 16, 17, isn't it? That is too young. And teen, isn't it? Teen. The teens, in teens you have got you put on jeans. When you are teens, you put on jeans. Understand? Yeah, there we are. Then I hope everything is clear to you. Last year means the last successor of a family of kings. Family of kings we call dynasty. Then I have written somewhere here, dynasty, isn't it? Now if not written, I will write it here, dynasty. Dynasty, D-Y-N-A-S-T-Y. Dynasty means a family of kings. King's family, that's all, king's family. See? So that is, in that family of kings, he was the last man. That is why he said last heir means. Last successor. Later as means buried, laden with gold means along with the dead body, they have also put many golden ornaments, gold coins. Then if the king's interest, for example, hobby, if he was playing chess was his hobby, then chess would be along with the food items which he liked most and so on will be, because they believed in afterlife. That is death after life. They thought that the pharaoh should not starve, and therefore they used to put all these things in the coffin that is laden with gold. Eventually means at last speculative means to make theories about or think about extreme possibility, the last possibility, least possibility, offer new clues, offer new evidence. Then precise data means clear information, forensic reconstruction of the past. Stirred means moved, ghostly dust devils. That is the metaphor used for winds causing trouble. Ghostly dust devils means winds causing trouble. Then dark bellied clouds means dark clouds, and studded across means moving fast forward. So, then veiling the star in cascade grey color is dark clouds through which you can see one or two stars twinkling. That is veiling means. Not veiling is not twinkling, but the twinkling stars are veiled or covered, you can see. Then glided means smooth entry, smoothed. Some students come late and they glide into the class. They just gliding there. So, sir, okay, without disturbing others, that is gliding to probe, to investigate, and lingering means remaining medical mysteries. Two important days, 5th January 2005 and 1922 discovered. 1922, the tomb was discovered, and the investigation about the lingering medical mystery started on 5th January 2005, discovering that the Saga canon. Saga means a long story. A long story. Forsyth Saga by John Galsworthy, famous story, famous novel. It has got three novels. That is trilogy. It's a trilogy. 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 So by A.R. Williams, we saw the introduction and also we saw some idea about this. So today we start with the first element, that is, he was just a teenager when he died. He was just a teenager, means young, boy king, the boy fellow, what are the names? Boyish king, boyish fellow, young ruler, a teenager, and then also is the last heir of a famous dynasty, that is the family of kings. And continuing, you see, the last heir of a powerful family, powerful dynasty, D-Y-N-I-S-T-Y, and that had ruled Egypt and its empire for centuries. His grandfather, his name was, grandfather's name was Pharaoh, his name was Amenhotep. Amenhotep. That was the Amenhotep III. Amenhotep the third. Amenhotep. Once again, I will write so that you make this. Amen. A-M-E-N. Hotep. Amenhotep the third. His grandfather. He ruled for 40 years, 4 decades, and considered to be the golden age of Egypt. So that's why he said, the last of the powerful family that had ruled Egypt and its empire for centuries, and he was laid to rest, laden with gold, eventually forgotten. So they made a mummy, that is embalmed body, embalmed the dead body, and then coffins, 1, 2, 3, 4, outer coffin, then innermost one, and inside all these they filled with gold coins, golden crown, and so on. And then they forgot about it. Then, since the discovery of his tomb, B is silent, like L-A-M-B, lamb. We don't say lamb, but a lamb, isn't it? So, Mary had a little lamb. Yeah, that's a nursery rhyme, I think, yes. So, since the discovery of his tomb, 1922, I told you it's a very important date, because discovery of the tomb. For why discovery? Because after burying him, they forgot everything. That is eventually forgotten. Now, 1922, they again coming back with the memories of that boyish king and what happened to him, how he died, the mysterious death, the probe death, and so on. The modern world had speculated about what happened. Speculated from 1922 only. Before that, they had forgotten. Speculated means thought about, or made theories about, speculated what happened to him, with murder being the most extreme possibility. Young man, how did he die? You would no doubt there would be some extra, what you call unnatural cause. So that unnatural may be poisoning, it can be murder, it can be some virus attack and so on. So they were trying the extreme possibility, the last possibility probably he was murdered also. They thought like that. Now, leaving his tomb for the first time in almost 80 years. Leaving his tomb means for 80 years he was in his tomb. Nobody bothered about it. Now these people, they took him out of the tomb. He did not leave, but he was lifted. Now leaving his tomb means King Tut's tomb. Now leaving his tomb for the first time in almost 80 years, Tut has undergone a CT scan that offer new clues, new evidence about his life and death, and provides precise data, means correct information, right information for an accurate forensic reconstruction. a correct, without mistake, faultless, accurate means faultless, a faultless forensic reconstruction of the boyish king, boyish pharaoh. 1922 it was discovered, then these people interested in this forensic reconstruction, how this boyish king died, they took him out. So that's what the author says, that he left the tomb. Left the tomb means temporarily they took him, and then they to scan his body to find out the causes of the death, to probe the untimely death of this boyish pharaoh. They used a CT scan. They took a CT scan. They used a CT scanner and they took a CT scan. An angry wind, angry wind stirred up ghostly dust devils. That is, I told you it is a metaphor. Ghostly dust devils means winds that could do harm to them. Ghostly, how nature reacted against this. Or when this incident took place, for 80 years they forgot all about this king, boyish king, but 1922 they discovered the tomb, then they lifted it. And then what happened is that how nature reacted. That maybe, we don't know, these are things for which we have no logic, no way of explaining anything logically. So nature was angry, so to say. That's why nature stirred up, moved. A ghostly dust devils, that means winds that could harm them. As King Tut was taken from his resting place, that is his tomb, in ancient Egyptian cemetery known as the Valley of the Kings. So he was lying peacefully in the Valley of the Kings, an ancient Egyptian cemetery. You know, there is in England there is a famous Valley of the Poets. It's called Poets' Corner, the southern side of Westminster Abbey in London, where all the poets and playwrights, great writers are buried. It's called Poets' Corner, Poets' Corner. But this is called the Valley of, what do you call it? The Valley of Cemetery, that is the Valley of the Kings. The kings only are buried there. Dark, bellied clouds had scudded across the desert sky. Desert sky, yes, a desert is Italian. So desert sky, scattered means moved forward fast. Scattered, dark bellied means dark clouds all day, and now were veiling the stars in cascade green. So that means altogether you find a gloomy atmosphere. When Tut was moved from his resting place in the Valley of Kings, see, in the Valley of Kings, from the Valley of Kings, nature reacted. How? Not in a friendly way, but stirring ghostly dust devils. And also this dark-bellied clouds veiling the twinkling stars. But find a grey atmosphere, a dark atmosphere. That means nature was not happy about this cascade grey. It was 5th June 2005. After 80 years, they discovered, that is in 1922. Now here it was on 5th January 2005. That was the sky, the desert sky became dark. The desert sky became dark and the desert stirred up ghostly desert devils, that is wind, storm, so to say. We can say it's a very strong winds creating problem for these people. It was 5th January 2005. 5th January 2005, a very important date as far as the forensic reconstruction of this boyish pharaoh, that is Tutankhaten was concerned, or for short we can say Tut was concerned. I think you are following me, you are enjoying it. The world's most famous mummy. The world's most famous, why it has become world's most famous mummy? Because the boyish king. The mummy of a boyish king, boyish pharaoh, glided head first, smoothly, head first into the city scanner, brought here to probe the lingering medical mysteries. So the story is about that. Probing the lingering medical mysteries of this boyish king, of this little understood young ruler who died more than 3,300 years ago. 3,300 years ago means that is, he is speaking, that is in 2005. So 2005 means, today when we say it is 3,315 years ago. 2005, for him the cut-off date is 2005, the investigator. But today when we say, we have to say it was 3,315 years ago. I hope you understood that logic. Okay? Have I made a mistake now? 3,300. All afternoon, the usual line of tourists from around the world. It was a very famous tourist spot also. So tourists from around the world had descended into the crammed rock-cut tomb. Crammed, if you want to narrow, it's narrow. Cut in the rock. The tomb is cut in the rock. So, crammed rock-cut tomb. Some 26 feet underground to pay their respects. To pay your respect means to show your respect. See, paying respect to a dead body means showing respect to your dead body. That is paying respect means. Understand? So that is up to this. What we are seeing is, we know, as we have seen in the introduction, it's all about probing the lingering medical mysteries of the untimely death of the young boyish pharaoh Tutankhamun, whom we fondly call King Tut. And the saga continues. Saga means the long story about his life, about his untimely death, about investigations, how the forensic reconstruction of the untimely death of this young ruler who was loved by his people. And he was the last heir, the last man in that family to rule Egypt. And before him, his grandfather, Amenhotep III. He ruled Egypt for 40 years, and those days were the golden age of Egypt. Understand? Hope you are following. Very nice, no? That is the boyish king, the death, the untimely death. Some people discovering that for 80 years they did not make any hue and cry about it. For 80 years they just eventually forgotten. That's why this forgotten thing was taken on, and that was by people. So it is 2005 is the most important date as far as King Tut's forensic reconstruction is concerned. I hope you are following. You will be in a position to use all these words in the words and phrases and sentences of everyone, and then in that case you have internalized this. These things have become your part of your vocabulary, part of your day-to-day conversation. Then you have mastered these weekends. So you can see now these are very simple, but before we leave again, please remember these are days, very difficult days we have got. So stay home, be safe, break the chain, be safe, wear mask, be safe, keep distance, be safe, use soap, be safe, use sanitizer, be safe, you be safe, then we will all be safe. Otherwise what will happen? If you will not be safe, then dark clouds, see, as he says, what? Dark bellied clouds will veil the stars in a casket grave. If the days are going to be very tough. Understand? So you have to be very careful. Or you can see the virus is, what is the virus doing now? It is stirring ghostly dust devils. Actually this killer virus is stirring ghostly dust devils around us. So let's fight it. This is the ammunition. So with this you can keep yourself safe, and we will all be safe. Bye. Have a nice day.